Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to series number 2 of this journal making process of mine. All right, well, what I have done already is paint this book, the outside of the book that we are using with chalk paint. And that's so that I have just a blank slate to do whatever I want. It will be all covered by the time I am done. But that's just so nothing, shows through from the cover. And I have printed off quite a few of my, book pages. And things like that. To start off, I've already taken some of the pages out, but this is how I make one of these kinds of journals. Let's see here. So it does leave a bit on, in the groove here, but that won't be a problem. I'm just going to concentrate on these, and if I need to take any more out, I would, or will, but I probably won't need to. Okay, so that's how I do that. Pretty, I don't know, this is not my own address book. So I don't know who these people are. My husband actually found this when we were out looking at some kind of sale, I think. So it has some addresses on there that I don't know who those people are. Although that name looks familiar. Jerry Jenkins. Alright, so that's basically what I'm doing, and I will finish this part off camera so you don't have to hear me ripping pages out. I will say it's just if you don't have photos that you want to preserve in a book like this, then it would mainly be taking out as many as you think. You kind of have to eyeball it, but I would say in the bigger books it's you might want to take a page out every I don't know, every 4th page, a 5th page, take a page out. Depends on the size of the book. We'll have to do another one that's like that. This is a different, I've used books with more pages in it before, so anyway, that's how I'm doing it, and I'll be doing this rest of it off camera. Okay, I've taken, let's see, I'll show you how many pages I've already taken out. I didn't count them, but that's how many. I don't want to take too many out because we'll be using some of the pages to actually, make the journal. So even though it does look like, oh, there's not much there, but it will be filled up quickly. And if it is not filled with paper, it'll have, it'll have fabric stuff and lace in it. Okay, so before I continue, my dog is very needy today. Come on. He wants to be on my lap all day. He's usually not like this. Sometimes when it's windy, you get scared, but it isn't windy. All right, I wanted to show you this first. I see I'm way down here. Okay, this little remainder of, I think it's 2 pages there. I try and get that out. Of course, as I said, I think before, that you don't have to get it all, you don't have to remove it all, but whatever can be removed is good. And I hold this ruler at an angle so I don't rip this page here, or either page in doing so. As you can see, it's a little tedious, but without the ruler you can do it too. If you rip something, you know, it doesn't matter, then you just don't use that page, right? Or you cover it up with something, but that's what I do there. And not so easily, because there's two pieces of paper there, that's why. But you know, whatever you can get out is good. If not, it's not a problem. Okay, so I'll do that later. I really want to do it now because I'm fixated on it. Oh, but I won't. Okay, so now it's a matter of doing the cover, because that will do, like I think I said in my other video, that will determine kind of the rest of how I do the inside. This journal actually has, well, not journal, this book has all these wonderful pages here that I left that say notes. So that's very nice. You can even write on that. So I'm going to work on the cover. What I will do first is I usually use something like this to give it some cushion. It gives a nice soft feel. And, so I would measure it out, the size of the book, but this one, it's like a lining for a quilt maybe, or it's like a very, it's not Pellon, it's heavier than Pellon, if you know what Pellon is. And then this one is, let me see, it's a natural cotton batting, and it is so soft and luxurious. I am going to cut it to fit. Let's see here. You can always trim it off if you make it too big, but you don't want to make it too little. I mean, even though it is a lining, it doesn't have to be totally accurate, but you want it pretty much accurate. So that's how I would cut it there, and we make a little allowance for this part, so I gotta cut it bigger here. I would probably be doing this on my dining table, because I like to do the cutting and fabric stuff on my dining table, because there's more room to spread everything out. But we are doing this so you can see it. So what I do is just cut around the edges of the book. I want to probably stick that down so it doesn't move. All right, and there we have the fluffy part of the layers. It'll need to be trimmed right here a little bit. Okay, so I'll put that aside and trim it later. And we're going to look at some things that I'm thinking about for this cover. Well, I guess I'll tell you what I do first with, okay, when I have layers, I try to sew them together as much as possible. So let's say if I chose this for the cover, which is really pretty, it needs to be ironed, and there's something on there that gives it character. Okay, so I would lay it across and pin it, as you know, have it centered here, which it is not centered. I'll see, I have another one of these that's got a stain there. Well, I could also cover it if I needed to, but I'd have to find the other ones. I know I have a couple others like this. Okay, so that would be sewn together, and I would do this randomly. I would not sew like that. I'd probably sew some of this, is my thoughts, and around here maybe. All right, that's one idea, and that wouldn't be, I wouldn't be limited to this alone. I brought some of my, old linens and things. So here's another possibility, which I would layer. I'm going to use that somewhere probably. This is very pretty old lace that, and what I might do if I use this, I'll probably just coffee dye the whole thing. I'll see. That could be just as it is. That would be fine too, because it will have a vintage used look that way. It comes down pretty far, so I could trim it, of course. And of course this isn't the end, this is just ideas. And when I said in my other video that it could be all over the place in my process, this is what I mean. It could take me all day. Well, not this part, but the whole cover, it could take a number of hours, because to me that's one of the best places of the journal, is what you see on the outside. So I give it a lot of thought, and trying different things. And we have a different look with this type of thing, but in some ways I think that's more of a mid-century look. Could still do it, but don't know. And this is pretty as well. First I would put something else. Let's see if I have here. You still with me? I had it in my mind that maybe I would do something that was more of a darker, like a beige. This is pretty as well, and it would be not left just like this, that's too big, but I would change it. But what I would do when I found all the layers, then I would machine stitch them, but I would not necessarily do it all at once. I might like do the first layer and then the second layer. Now this is very delicate, very beautiful. It would work very well for a Edwardian. Let's see, Edwardian journal. With other things. Now let's say we decided on this one. That's part of it there, and then I would need some other things, but here's a really soft ribbon, worn out a little bit. It would be gorgeous to tie that with this. So we'll keep that in mind. This reminds me of one of those, I think they called them day dresses, the white ones, back in the Edwardian era. It reminds me of that. It almost has a look of a cotton slip, a fancy cotton slip. Well, now this is where I get to the point of, oh, there's so many choices, which one? But this is a contender, and I have this right here. That's just a linen napkin, so I would cut it to size with this edges over the book a little bit. And, you know, cut it. But then this is like one of my favorites. I could do this. I could either go with, that has to be mended right there, and it has to be ironed, but either side would be good because this is more of a worn look, like it's been around a while. Let's try it this way for now. Okay, so that's a couple layers right there. And let's see if I did it's not quite as gorgeous. Might need a different tie if I use that. We'll see. All right, now, just for the fun of it, because I don't, I would do this first, then I would decide how to embellish it. And there's some he needs to be on a horse journal or a Western one. Now we can't have anything too big, because this would be, that could go there if I wanted. Just looking through some of these for ideas. Let's see, a frame here. Oops, wrong way. This frame. And then I could put a photo in that. I don't think this photo is too little. Oh, well, it probably could work. Could do something like that. And there's this one. And probably I could copy these pictures. They might, well, you could see how they look, so we can use them over again, but that's okay. And this is not the finished. But I like that, but I'm not, I haven't decided on it for sure. Here's something that I like the look of that as well. And then what I do is I would add some elements other than add some elements like that. All right, that's a contender as well. Now, I think I will change my mind and maybe do the cover after I've worked on the inside, at least some of it. But if I decide on the cover, in the meantime, I'll start sewing the layers together, and then we'll be able to put it on the book as needed. I do have other options as well, but we'll leave it there for now, so you can just kind of see what I think sometimes, how I do it. And then, like I said, there'll be buttons. I have some other nice buttons or jewelry or something. More is more, right? For the cover. All right, well, this will end part 2 of this journal making adventure. Thank you for watching.